What's going on, diggers? Today we're working on the tow vehicle. I've got a bit of an exhaust leak, so I've ordered a new exhaust catback that we're going to put on. Should be pretty easy. Just tough part's going to be the rusty bolts of the old exhaust, getting them off so I can slip everything apart. But system I ordered, Flowmaster's FlowFX, should be able to just go right into where all the standard hanger slots are. It's made for this model truck, so I'll show you real quick why I needed to make a change. Go into the truck here. There's my catalytic converter, and there's a nice little hole that just continues to get bigger, and it stinks, makes a lot of noise. So time for that to go. So we'll slap a new exhaust on it, see how it sounds. All right, so to get the exhaust system out, there are a series of hangers that all these little arms just slip into, and there are a few clamps. So you've got this clamp here, and all these clamps are held on with 15mm bolts. This is a 2003 Ram 2500 long bed. Get this set here, and then one more set down just behind the catalytic converter, which is where my hole is for my exhaust leak. So I'm going to go from that. This is a catback exhaust, so that intermediate pipe, going to have a new muffler in here, and then it will route over the back axle and have a new tip on the end. So I've already come around with some WD-40 to hit it with a little penetrating oil, because as you can see, you know, it's a bit of rust under here, so got to get these nuts broke free. And I've already come around by hand just with a ratchet and gotten them to move a little bit. So I'm encouraged that once I fire up the impact wrench here, they'll zip right off. Fingers crossed. All right, so here's the box it came in. It's our catback exhaust system we're going to put on, and I tell you, these were hard to find. Back ordered. I was looking for these well before the start of 2021, because I'd known I have this exhaust leak for some time, and I don't know what it was about the suppliers or whatever, but you could not get these anywhere until just recently. And even then, I had to hunt around some other sites that actually had them in stock. You know, traditionally I go to Jegs first for some things, but even they were still way out till they just kept moving the deadline of when they could get these, a month out, a month out, a month out. So finally I found a website, I think it was called realtrucks.com is where Googling kind of landed me. Ultimately, I think all of these, looking at the tag where it shipped from, came from Holly, as a matter of fact. So it's kind of weird that it's like you go through one website or another website, but ultimately it's all coming from the same place. And why one website could get one and not the other, I have no idea. So you can see we've got all our nice new pipe here. Hangers are on it, new tip. We've got clamps that come with it, and muffler is inside here. Hopefully not too banged up. Let's take a look here. Really encouraged by the shape of this box, but okay. There it is. That'll be our new muffler going on. Actually, I wonder if that'll be a bit of a weight reduction. It's definitely smaller than what's up there in terms of the big old honking muffler I got on there right now. That's stock. or maybe it's been replaced once, but it was replaced with stock. But got all our hardware, hangers, everything we should need to put that on. Our new intermediate pipe, which if you this system fits a bunch of different Ram trucks, like 1500 as well as a 3500, I believe, and it's for short beds and long beds. You just have to, if you have a short bed, trim your intermediate pipe, I believe, is where you do some cutting. But for a full size long bed like my truck, shouldn't have to do that at all. So there it is, unpacked. Next, we got to get the old one off, the new one in. One of the things I liked about this was the nice kind of black tip on there, like a powder coating or something. It's pretty nice, but all nice tubing, all laid out. But I don't know, you know, the joke is men don't read instructions. But maybe it's because they don't give you any. Not a single piece of paperwork in there. We'll figure it out. Now, actually, if you go where I ordered it, you can go on the website and there is a downloadable PDF link that you can print out the instructions. So I'm going to do that just to double check my work. But yeah, no instructions in the box. Now, one of the things when it comes to exhaust is, of course, the sound. How's it going to sound? Well, for reference in this video, I'm going to go ahead before I pull the old one off. I'll let you know what it sounds like. Kind of loud with that exhaust leak. You can kind of hear it popping underneath the seat, so to speak, kind of from where it's at, but I'll give you a listen. Yeah, stinks. Right behind the cat. Stinks. Not a good place for a hole. All right, so earlier I said I thought for my model year truck bed length configuration, I wouldn't have to do any cutting. But see, this is where the instructions come in handy. I went ahead and printed those off, and lo and behold, I am gonna have to do some cutting. Some really important information. Okay, so depending on your year and your wheelbase, you are gonna have to do some trimming. 2010 to 2012, 8-foot bed, no modification. That's where I thought I was, but I'm an 03 and I'm a quad cab 8-foot. So I'm gonna have to trim 9 inches from the rear of the inlet. So I have to do a little cutting, but you know, that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Okay, call it a pro tip. Actually, it's mentioned in the instructions, but you want to throw a little anti-seize on these clamp bolts. So I'm going to do that prior to getting everything up. I recommend just throwing a little dab of that on there, reinstalling the nut, so your clamps are good to go with a little bit of anti-seize. In about 10 seconds, this will be all over my hands and not on the nut. Yeah, let's see. Just got all the old pieces off. Wonder what it sounds like without anything. That's just no pipe from the catalytic converter back. So through the cat. Not that noisy. Why don't you just leave it like that? Think about how heavy all this stuff is. And the new one's definitely lighter than that old thing. Okay, so here we are, end product. Everything's up on the hangers, muffler's on. The only thing I had to rig was this guy. This intermediate hanger is meant for a different isolator hanger that's turned 90 degrees, and I did not have the muscle nor a vise to even attempt to bend that to be the 90 it should be. So I've rigged up a washer and bolt and clamp to pull that through, hold that snug, and that'll have to do. But it goes all the way up there to the cat And back to the end. Got our nice black tip on. See how she sounds. Okay, here we go. Firing up new exhaust. Yeah, it's quiet, it's mild at idle, but best of all, no more ticking, stinky fumes coming out of that. Still stinks anyway because it's older. Still gonna have a little bit of that going on, but overall in the cab, not a whole lot of difference. See how it is going down the road later.